الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه ربنا ويرضى. يا ربي لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وخليله، بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الله به الغمة وجاهد في سبيل ربه حتى أتاه اليقين. اللهم اجزه عنا وعن والدينا وعن الإسلام والمسلمين خير ما جازيت به نبيا عن قومه ورسولا عن أمته. اللهم أحينا على سنته وتوفنا على ملته وأوردنا حوضه واسقنا من يده الشريفة شربة هنيئة لا نظمأ بعدها أبدا. ثم أما بعد, my dear respected brothers and sisters, I'm sure by now you have watched for hours in many different news channels the result of this election 2020. And I'm not here to give you my personal analysis or understanding of what's going on, but we can now get some rest after this long marathon of this very difficult and special election. I'm going to make a very quick reflection on this election and what lessons that we can learn from this election. One big lesson we can learn from this election is that our participation makes a huge difference. It's very obvious, very clear that the American people, including American Muslims, were able to do what big and strong institutions could not do. Many people were very unhappy with the performance of Donald Trump, but they tried to impeach him. It did not work simply because he has simple majority in the Senate. Many people thought that he is causing so much damage to the American society and the American political system. But despite the fact that committing so many ethical and political crimes, it was very difficult to remove him. More investigation, people were waiting for it. The Ukraine scandal, the high level of Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, and anti-Black, and supporting white supremacy and neo-Nazis, burning the American institutions, or fighting against American institutions, and normalizing racism, not paying taxes, lying all the time, in addition of mishandling and downplaying the coronavirus, and as a result, hundreds of thousands of people lost their life. Despite all these ethical and political crimes that Donald Trump committed against America, the American people, in addition to so many other things, so the list can go on and on. But I remember very well that I was in a meeting with Representative Elissa Slotkin, and she said, what can we do? The only way to remove Donald Trump is to vote. There's no other way. So our vote, our participation makes a difference. People have the power. Big institutions could not remove him, but the American people have spoken and voiced their opinion and voted, and they removed him. And by the way, from Islamic perspective, just talking about how the ulama and the fuqaha talked about the reasons why a ruler or a khalifa or a sultan or a king in Islam should be removed if he committed some of the act of fisq, to be fasiq, to commit unethical crimes. In the first place, nobody can run for office from Islamic perspective if he is known as a liar or dishonest person. But unfortunately, this became the norm in Muslim communities. I'm talking about Muslim majority countries and even some Islamic institutions here. They cannot run for office if they are known of committing unethical crimes, and can be removed if he committed unethical crimes such as lying and being dishonest. Should be removed from power. because he is supposed to be a person who is or represent a good example. But from Islamic perspective, if someone committed half of these crimes that Donald Trump has committed, that's good, very good enough for him to be impeached from Islamic perspective. But this did not happen here. It finally happened because the people participated, and as you can, I'm sure you have heard that American actually turned in a record-breaking number in the U.S. election. And importantly, American Muslim participated actually and made a difference in many swing states like Michigan and Georgia and other states. So American Muslims actually participated heavily, according to a poll by CARE, that American Muslims participated. 84% of the registered Muslim voters reported that they voted in the election. Huge number of Muslims participated. Not only American Muslims were actively participating in political activities, but they also are winning election. That's even more impressive. American Muslims are running for office. Second and third generation American Muslims. They knew that in order to bring about meaningful change in this country, you need to get out of your comfort zone and participate. Yes, the process is messy, but we have to be part of this. So I'm very impressed with so many young American Muslims who ran for office. Regardless, some of them made it, some of them did not win. But the point here is that they participated. They knew the system and they became part of the system. And obviously the three members of the House of Representatives, three Muslim, were re-elected in their constituents. So that's a good sign. That's a good sign. But that's not the end of the story. That's the beginning of it. Participation makes a difference. Being passive and saying, "Oh, it's haram," it's non-Islamic, and you don't want to bring someone who is not going to be. This is the reality. This is our reality. Participation makes a huge difference. And as we participate in the state level and the national level, we have to also be active in our local social and political dynamic. In our own organization, we need to be more informed and more organized and participate. This is how we bring about real change. One of the greatest achievements that the United States actually can be proud of is this peaceful transition of power. And this is the second point I want to make. The second point I want to make here is that the system must be stronger than individuals. American political system is imperfect, but it is very powerful and very stable. Democracy is imperfect, but it can correct itself. People were talking before the election about the possible civil war if Trump lost the election. Nonsense. That's civil war is a huge word. That is not practically possible. Yes, some will get angry, but this is the case in every election. Some people will get so angry and so sad and disappointed of the result. But this is democracy. This is how it works. And if you don't like the result, then you have the right to file a lawsuit. If you saw widespread fraud, then go to the court and the court will make its judgment. This is a system in place. It does not leave any room for people to cling to violence. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen because the system is stronger than individuals, no matter how strong, popular they are. Yes, Donald Trump caused so much damage to this system by fighting institutions. Anybody who disagrees with him, dividing America into red states and blue states, we and they, we did, and they want to, steal the election. Who are we and they? It's kind of too late now to do this. I'm sorry. So the point I want to make here is that when we build institutions, we must ensure that there are ways to resolve conflicts or disagreements, because we by nature, human beings, will have different opinions, different point of view. Give me 1 second, Hassan. Some are saying that the camera is not synchronized with the microphone, so the sound is not. So bring it back if you want, if you can. Okay. So the problem is when sometimes individuals or families become more stronger than the system, or they manipulate the system, or create a system and manipulate it. That is problematic. And the Muslim community in the early stages were very much aware of this. The Khalifa is very powerful, very strong, has tremendous power, but he cannot use this power for his own personal or family or tribe interest. And once he does this, then the community has to speak up. So when the system is controlled by few individuals, then corruption happens. And absolute power leads to absolute corruption. There's no checks and balances. So the system, no matter how imperfect it is working. And we have really to appreciate those who fought to guarantee that people's voice must be heard. It is the people who choose their leaders, right? So when the system is stronger, even if a corrupt person comes to power, he should not be able to change the system. The system can take and can handle corruption of an individual, but individuals should not be able to fully manipulate, control the system. And this is what we have seen now. The system actually allowed American people to gain power again and to remove the president and bring a new president, a new administration. That's very crucial, very important. And I wish we in our building institutions, we are able to do that. We need to create a mechanism of conflict resolution. When a conflict happens, disagreement happens, people do not resort to their weapons, but they resort to logic, to law, to regulation. And if there are some holes in the system, it should be filled and correct itself, and we move on and we learn and improve. This is how it's supposed to work. And this is what's happening now. So participation is very crucial, very important. It makes a difference. And the system must be stronger than individuals, right? So democracy must fix its own problems. And that's why we have these three branches of government to guarantee that there is checks and balances. If one owns or controls all these three branches, then this would lead to absolute corruption. And this is what we have seen in many places that's called Muslim places, when some individuals and families are in control and they control all aspects of the organization or the state. We American Muslims are able to be very successful through the existing systems, but unfortunately we failed miserably in creating systems. That's why so many American Muslims are very successful in their career, but they come together to build an institution. You see all these forms of corruption that ends with spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in courts, fighting and demolishing the unity of the community, and politicians do not care about that. They just care about staying in power. This is what they care about. They don't really care about the improvement of the community and the society in which they live. So brothers and sisters, there are plenty of things to learn from this election. But I'll just end with this, that should be the beginning, not the end. Many of us are excited that we have a new president, and who promised, by the way, just to give Biden the credit, that he visited American Muslims, he listened to American Muslim leaders, and he promised to challenge the anti-Muslim hate crimes, and that's good. And of course, he will try to heal the community and to unite the community. American society is so sharply divided. People, believe in absolutism, that this side is absolutely right and the other side is absolutely wrong, and that's not healthy. But again, it all depends on the leadership. If the leader puts in his mind, number one priority is to unite the community and to heal the wounds of the community, it will happen. It will happen. It's not difficult. But if there's a will, there's a way. If the leaders actually put in their mind, number one priority is to unite the community and to heal the wounds of the past and to move together and to be able to talk to each other and understand the other's point of view, then we can move forward together as a community. That can easily can be done. And I'm hopeful and optimistic that we should be able to listen to others, understand their point of view, and we're able to sit and talk. That is something I'm hopeful will happen. But again, that should be the beginning, not the end. We should actually participate more. We should organize ourselves more. And we need to encourage our youth in the future to be able to participate, because they understand the system better than the immigrants who came here in the age of adulthood. So they understand it, they have the courage, they have the charisma, and they can participate to bring about good change. Participation in election is not about individuals' interest, it's about the community interest. And from Islamic perspective, we should do whatever it takes to enjoin good and forbid evil. That should be our intention. It's not for me and my family and just to get this prestige. It's about hard working. It's about serving for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like Yusuf alayhi salam did when he became the Aziz of Egypt. He actually suggested that when the king liked him so much after being able to interpret the dream, he said, "Ja'alni ala khazain al-ard," appoint me to be the guardian or the governor of Egypt. Inni hafidh alim. I know how to get the job done. I have hafidh alim. Alim means like he has the knowledge and he has the amana. And that's what we need to look at. Someone who has the amana, akhlaq, ethical principles, and knowledge how to run this business. Inna khayra man istajarta al-qawiyyu al-amin. Strong in his or her knowledge, and amin, trustworthy, someone who really wants to serve the community. This is how we make our life better. This is how we make the future of our children better. And there is huge room for improvement. But the key word here is that we need to participate. We need to be informed. We need to organize ourselves. This is how it works. In the past, when people disagree, they go and fight and kill each other. But now, the power is to vote, to organize, to be informed, to mobilize others, to have clear vision, to be able to mobilize people to walk together to achieve these goals. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bring more peace and prosperity to this country. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help the new leaders to heal the wounds of this country. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them the wisdom and appoint for them good advisors who can advise them to do what is best for the American people and for the people around the world. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provide this community and this Muslim ummah with good leaders who fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who have clear vision, and who are willing to sacrifice to serve their community. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. Brothers and sisters, just I want to end with quick announcements. Brother Monis Khan is asking you to please pray for his aunt, Dr. Rana Shirwani, and she is in serious condition and waiting for liver transplant. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant her complete and quick recovery. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant her shifa. اللهم اشفيها وعافيها يا رب العالمين. اللهم اشفيها وعافيها يا رب العالمين. اللهم اشفيها واشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين. اللهم رب الناس أذهب البأس. اشفي أنت الشافي لا شفاء إلا شفاءك شفاء لا يغادر سقما. نسأل الله العظيم رب العرش العظيم أن يشفيها. نسأل الله العظيم رب العرش العظيم أن يشفيها. نسأل الله العظيم رب العرش العظيم أن يشفيها. اللهم اشفيها واشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين وارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Also, regarding our classes tonight and on Monday, tonight inshallah we'll have our regular Quran study circle at 8 o'clock. The time will be 8 o'clock, it cannot be earlier than this. So 8 o'clock, we thought it's not very early, it's not very late. So it's going to be at 8 o'clock, and the Quranic stories actually inshallah will be also at 8 o'clock on Monday. And we are talking now about the story of Yusuf alayhi salam. We had 2 series, inshallah. This Monday will be the 3rd one. So we ask you, inshallah, to join us at 8 o'clock on this channel, on Friday at 8 o'clock, and Monday at 8 p.m. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. اللهم إنا نسألك رزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا. اللهم أصلح لنا ديننا الذي هو عصمة أمرنا، وأصلح لنا دنيانا التي فيها معاشنا، وأصلح لنا آخرتنا التي إليها معادنا. اللهم اجعل الحياة زيادة لنا في كل خير، واجعل الموت راحة لنا من كل شر. يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث، فأصلح لنا شأننا كله، ولا تكلنا إلى أنفسنا طرفة عين ولا إلى أحد من الناس يا رب العالمين. اللهم إنا نسألك علما نافعا ورزقا واسعا وشفاء من كل داء، ونسألك الغنى عن الناس يا رب العالمين. اللهم إنا نسألك من الخير كله عاجله وآجله ما علمنا منه وما لم نعلم، ونعوذ بك من الشر كله عاجله وآجله ما علمنا منه وما لم نعلم. نسألك من كل خير سألك منه عبدك ونبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، ونعوذ بك من كل شر استعاذك منه عبدك ونبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم إنا نسألك الفردوس الأعلى من الجنة من غير سابقة عذاب ولا مناقشة حساب يا رب العالمين. اللهم من أراد الإسلام والمسلمين بخير فوفقه إلى كل خير، ومن أراد الإسلام والمسلمين بسوء فرد كيده إلى نحره، واجعل تدبيره تدميره يا رب العالمين. اللهم إنا نسألك العفو والعافية في الدين والدنيا والآخرة. اللهم استر عوراتنا وآمن روعاتنا، واحفظنا من بين أيدينا ومن خلفنا وعن أيماننا وعن شمائلنا ومن فوقنا، ونعوذ بعظمتك أن نغتال من تحتنا. وصلى اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين، وأقم الصلاة.